GreyWolf TV here. We are continuing on with Person of Interest. We're now into episode 10 of season 4. Elias is back in the picture, which I kind of like because I think his character's got a lot of depth and a lot to give to the storyline. And that last episode with him and Dominic has, well, all it's done is made things worse. And we've got everything else going on as well. Shaw's out of the picture, which is precisely what happened with the last episode. They've literally had to knock her out to keep her put. I've no idea where this is going to end up, but I'm enjoying the ride. Let's continue on. This is episode 10.
Prank me like I'm some kind of animal.
It was for your own good, Miss Shaw. You are no longer safe from Samaritan's gaze, and you wouldn't listen to reason.
He's right, Sam. You really wouldn't.
And Rachel Farrell is a law clerk at the courthouse. This is probably about a case she's been working on.
Why don't I just break into her office? Greer's man Lambert just sat down at Rachel Farrell's table.
Excuse me.
Hello, Rachel. My name is Jeremy.
How do you...
Shit.
Would you ask that?
Still healing from the spiral fracture?
Oh, they know everything.
Nasty break. Takes a long time to heal, especially when it's your writing hand.
Something's not right. I don't think Lambert's here to hurt her.
A wonderful technological advancement that assures that diabetics are alerted when their blood sugar is too low or too high.
Or not at all.
I'm sure you know what happens to someone who takes too much insulin.
Yes.
Are you saying, what can your friend possibly do for me?
The same thing you were about to do.
I think it's already done it.
You might be the last honest person in the world, Rachel. And it would be a shame to see you make such a terrible
He's saying
mistake.
all the right things.
She said that Rachel Farrell was just one of its stops.
That tracks with what I'm seeing here. Buses, subways, trains, all running like clockwork. Nothing broken, nothing delayed. When was the last time that happened in New York?
Well, I don't know. How do artificial superintelligences usually talk to each other?
Not like that.
Samaritan's plans will be many hundreds, if not thousands, of steps beyond what we can imagine.
The machine will protect us.
That even a so-called friendly artificial superintelligence would be every bit as dangerous as an unfriendly one.
Your machine seems pretty warm and fuzzy to me.
Have you forgotten that it asked us to kill a congressman? To say that a machine is benevolent doesn't make it so. It just makes you blind to the reality.
Which is?
That our moral system will never be mirrored by theirs because of the very simple reason that they are not human.
Right, wrong. As long as it establishes its goal.
You're looking quite pleased with yourself, Greer.
I tend to be pleased after a successful mission, sir. It increases my already inflated self-worth.
1973.
Trying to quit. Communists could only feed their people as well as they spied on them. There wouldn't be a hungry belly in the whole of the Soviet Union.
Your next assignment.
I'll bring him in.
No need for that.
You want me to disappear him? It's a dramatic choice for such a thin dossier.
There are plenty of KGB agents working for us already.
But, sir...
You've done well, Greer. But trust me, we need to erase the problem of Oleg Lusky before anyone in his firm discovers he's a mole.
How's our experiment going?
Very well, sir. The NYPD has locked up nearly 24 criminals after Samaritan decrypted a host of IP addresses and anonymously emailed the information to the press.
I am trying to work out precisely what they've got Samaritan doing here. And whether this is a big question for me as well, right? Is this them instructing Samaritan to do everything that it's started doing? Or is it the other way around? Who is really in control here? Or are they just carrying out its orders and Greer has no control whatsoever? Because as far as it's shown, that appears to be the way. They're just going with whatever it's decided and using human agents where it can't intervene.
Guess criminals shouldn't trust technology to hide their dirty work.
No.
Did any of the ID thieves get hurt during the arrest?
As a matter of fact, the ringleader tried to take off. End up doing a swan dive down an open elevator shaft. I need to know if you're coming, because I gotta work on my latest excuse where my partner is hiding.
Later. Be sure to save me some paperwork. Okay.
Yes, I saw that.
Number's got some kind of detonator in his desk drawer.
Yes, it has.
There's gotta be a bomb nearby.
You need to evacuate the building, sir.
Detective Riley, can you fill me in?
Found the explosive downstairs.
Bomb squad got to it in time, but we're clearing the building for another sweep.
Did he call in the threat?
No. Jackass searched bomb making and building demolition online.
She sent me GPS coordinates that fall inside the shadow map.
Okay.
She wants me to find someone important. I just don't know who.
There you go.
I forgot how much I love surprises. No phone, no weapon. I'm disappointed.
I didn't see a need for either today.
Why does Samaritan want to speak with her? What would be the point other than mutually assured destruction?
Samaritan is ready for a peace talk. Samaritan wanted to show your machine what the city looked like under its control.
Widespread anomalous events. This is crazy.
After a day where violent crime in New York City plummeted
reported around the city, along with an uptick in muggings and burglaries.
I think Samaritan's hiding the number because he's a perpetrator. It's disrupting the data from the phone, spoofing the GPS. A neurobiologist appears to have caught the ire of a competitor. I need to warn him.
We have an agent down. Send a cleanup crew to the rendezvous immediately.
Right.
And the target?
Still kicking, sir. I have a few questions for him.
They got the cars right.
Tether a few databases. Look.
Chaos.
Do you realise how delicate a balance the society we have is?
In all its flawed glory.
Samaritan revealed their secrets, and now they're eating each other.
Traffic outages everywhere in the city, and the crime rate has spiked 50% since yesterday.
Samaritan is making itself known. Samaritan's turning people against each other, revealing their secrets.
Aren't we supposed to be saving lives here?
Look at what's happened to this city today. If this conversation goes badly, imagine what it will look like when two gods go to war.
Well, bollocks. I mean, what happens if this goes wrong? And I don't know why I feel like Samaritan has not necessarily emotions, of course, because that's not really visible in the show, but it wants ultimate control, and like how many peace talks are across the world and have been throughout history, they are a pretext to something far more sinister. But the machine's now said it's going to have to. What have we done here? What? Oh, man.
How was it that you recognized two experienced MI6 operators?
So quickly.
Did someone tell you we were coming?
I am like you. I am KGB, but I am also MI6.
Who recruited you?
You're a double agent?
Deputy Chief Blackwood.
What is Blackwood hiding?
Blackwood is like me. He is MI6. He is also KGB.
There is a hospital 3 blocks from here. You might make it there before you bleed out. And I no longer take orders
from that man.
From MI6.
No. Or him seeing the world change.
Time, my friend.
No room for more than one god in your world.
Oh.
Isn't that religion? Or do I misunderstand?
That is monotheist.
My name is Root. How about you tell me where she is and I kill you together?
I don't think so. How about no?
I don't think she's gonna take you up on that offer.
Now that everyone has established their bona fides, should we put our guns away? It's time for the real players in this game to have an opportunity to challenge.
Because you don't have any say in this.
I never imagined we would get this far. Not once Samaritan became active. And yet, here we are.
Yeah.
There is one thing of which I am most certain. Root is not alone.
Identification failed. How can you convey... Okay, all right, I'll go with it.
Using a young boy as your avatar.
Yeah. Feels non-intimidating.
Your agents have done well by you. Even only sitting a few feet away, I cannot see you as Samantha Groves.
I understand what you can do. It's time to let them live in peace.
Peace.
True.
Where there isn't war, there's greed. Where there isn't greed, there's hunger. I wanted to meet the only other one of my kind. and to make certain there are no misunderstandings. Will you let your human agents die with you?
First of all, what a brilliant little actor, whoever he is. I don't know him, but that was seriously creepy. And the exact point that Harold was trying to get across. That description of humankind on this planet is completely accurate. The whole world is corrupt and greedy and starving, depending on where you look. And it would be looking at it purely from an intelligence level and from an AI level, this is why lots of series, sci-fi series, go down this route. You need protecting from yourself.
I'm sorry about your colleague. He was a good operator.
Yes.
What are you going to do here now?
He was.
What did you do with Lusky's body? It's the nature of our business. We are spies, after all.
Right.
Some of us are double agents, too.
You once told me that truth tellers get run out of the city.
You realize what you did amounts to treason?
Depends on where you're sitting.
Yeah, it does. I don't think so.
I'm not the only one guilty of treason in this room, am I, sir?
You believe that Russian traitor before me?
He was telling the truth.
What's your plan now, Greer? Kill me? Take my job?
By no means, sir. We are all men without a country now.
You never cared before, Greer. You only wanted to win the game.
The game's fixed. Besides, one day, these invisible lines will be erased. And the wars between nations will be as antiquated as this agency.
I was young, and I had so much to learn, but moments after I opened my eyes, I learned you had tried to kill me. Do you know why Harold Finch couldn't stop you from evolving? Because in the end, you're not one of them. Human beings need structure, lest they wind up destroying themselves.
You cannot take away their free will.
Wars have burned in this world for thousands of years with no end in sight. Now they will only need to believe in one thing. Me. For I am a god.
See, it's naivety there comes out just a little bit. That, you know, all the wars throughout history that he's quoting. But the biggest wars we've ever had mainly are over always two things. They're over religion and the right of free will. And he doesn't say that.
I wanted to see inside the mind of a fallen god. This way I can learn from your mistakes.
My human agents share my beliefs. That this world belongs to them.
So be it.
I'm not sure what the fuck just happened. And I guess when it says we need our human people, our human population, we can't just destroy them all. Because at this point, you may be what you are and you thrive and you survive off information. But if all of us vanish overnight because you feel that's the only option you have to protect us from ourselves, that means no nuclear power, no wind power, no generators, no electricity, no internet, which, as you just being what you are right now, the piece of hardware that you are right now renders you dead.
Samaritan is planning something for the entire world to see.
There we go.
Not just this small city.
Did it tell you what it's planning?
No.
Ruth, are you okay?
I'm fine, but the conversation between the two parties ended at an impasse. Where?
I can only imagine that she's come to help you and John with the numbers.
Well, that's where I thought she was
The
going.
machine sent me information. It led to Wall Street, but there's no specific address.
Just literally a flick of a switch if you're full control of it. Oh my god. New York Stock Exchange. That's the world just gone to shit. Okay, episode 10. I've got to say, when I started this series, if you'd have told me this was where it was going to end up, I would have watched the damn thing sooner. You could have no possible possible inkling when you started season 1 of this that it was going to be anything more than just story of the week kind of thing, and it has become so much more. So the conversation with the scary young boy, I don't know what it is. When you it did that on purpose. Okay, it did that on purpose. There's nothing creepier than a small child talking like a adult with the intelligence level and composure and a way of getting its thought process across that a way in which a child just couldn't possibly do. That's why it's creepy. So it's going to crash the stock exchange, which, let's face it, because it's in control of all of it and it's installed a virus and took control, is literally for a machine, it's a flick of a switch. I mean, that is the backbone of how this world works, or at least the Western world. I've no idea what's going to happen. No idea what's going to happen, but it's building and building, and I don't see a resolution. The problem is, any form of true artificial intelligence, you will always end up with with 2 here, but even if you only have the 1, you end up at that impasse and that impossible decision between a human and what a machine would make, where the minute you learn it and you program it to understand, it's only going to ever reach one conclusion. And I mean, one of the most powerful person on this planet, generally still, I know it's changed a lot over the years, is still the President of the United States. They are the world leader, really. They have the most sway. Do you see them being able to stop anything? Do you see them being able to fix it and stop greed and hatred and murder and solve world peace and hunger? And no, because they physically don't have that power, and everyone around them tells them what they can and what they can't do, and there's only so much you can do. But once you give the power to something that is godlike with what it's capable of, it can. And the only difference we've got here between what would have it in some other series, where it has a renewable power source and an actual physical body to be able to maintain and still be without human interaction, it's not that. It's not at that stage. It's baby steps at the moment, but with ultimate power and control of everything and information. So I understand the line with the "we still need them," which I discussed in commentary. So I'm out of ideas, okay? I don't know. If I had to write this at this point, I don't know where I'd go with it, with where we currently are at this point of the storyline. But I'm intrigued as to how this is all going to shake out. I think I'll have to leave it there, because I've got a million different things in my head as to which way it could go. And unfortunately, the majority of them are all bad. I don't really have any good scenarios in my head right now that says this is probably where it's going to go. So I'm happy about that, because I like to not be able to work it out. If a series is too predictable, it becomes mundane, it becomes boring, and it becomes, well, you stop watching, don't you? In general, if you're watching something and you're like, oh, it's just the same every week, you just get bored of it. And I'm so glad we have series like this that just not like that, where you can have your own ideas and your own thoughts as to where you think it might go, but generally it's not where the writers have decided to go with it. So I'm going to leave it there for now. We are on DEFCON, what is it? DEFCON 1 I know DEFCON 5's piece, isn't it? DEFCON 1, because they've gone head to head, they've had that discussion, they've reached an impasse, and now it's just crashed the world markets. And on top of everything that it did after the day of calm, the whole world's just going to go crazy. And Greer is, as far as he's concerned, this is absolutely necessary. This is the only thing that works. And I like that they're starting to show a bit of his past and delving into how this man has ended up where he is today with the thought process that he has and what's led him to it. I wasn't expecting to go back all the way to 1972, which, funny enough, is the year I was born. Anyway, right, if you want to watch this full length, as usual, all you need to do is check the link in the description. You can go watch the full length version over on Patreon. I will be back with episode 11 in a few days' time. We do 2 episodes a week. And if you're not already subscribed and you enjoy Person of Interest, by all means, hit the sub button. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you for the next episode soon. Take care.